Why did you think the Broncos were going to beat the Chiefs on Sunday?
Well, I don't think they're going to go undefeated, or I didn't think they were going to go undefeated. At this point, you got to open it up as a possibility. And all year long, I felt like they were going to go 5-1 in the division, and this game coming up against Buffalo is the only meaningful game left on the schedule. If they win this game against Buffalo, they're kind of playing for nothing the final 7 weeks. They'll be 4 games clear of Buffalo, 4 games clear of Baltimore. I guess you could say Pittsburgh could run them down, but I don't think, and I really respect what Pittsburgh's done, but given their schedule, they have 6 divisional games plus the Chiefs plus the Eagles left. They're not going to run the table. So the Chiefs would have be 4 games clear of the field. So I just thought it was a game that it was Sean Payton's Super Bowl. Denver's defense with Vance Joseph played the Chiefs well last year. A lot of factors. And here's the other thing, kind of weird spot. The only 1 o'clock Sunday kick for the Chiefs all year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a body clock weird, like West Coast team going east type of thing. They're not used to playing early, and all of that played out, but they're one of the greatest teams ever put together, so they won anyway.
How big a deal is this going undefeated for the Chiefs?
Well, I think it would be a bigger deal if they weren't chasing what I think is maybe more impressive history. Now, obviously, if you could three-peat while going undefeated, that's unfathomable. But let me ask you, Dan, if the Chiefs were to three-peat at 15-2, are they a more legendary team than the 72 Dolphins? I think so.
Yes.
So I think it's because you're going for, it would be almost as if when LeBron was chasing down, wow, got LeBron into this 2 minutes in.
Early.
Well done. If the same night like LeBron could have broken Kareem's all-time scoring record, he was going for the single season scoring title. It's like both are cool, but one is held in a higher regard than the other. And so that's why last year I was big on the undefeated thing, and they obviously, lost their very first game, because to me that was a unique carrot as like, hey, no one's ever done this. A lot of teams, even though it'd been a long time, have gone back to back.
I'm wondering, and this made the rounds yesterday, are the Chiefs maybe bored a little bit? And maybe bored on offense a little bit, that they like degree of difficulty, and that maybe we're seeing a little malaise there?
So I don't think they're bored. I think they're practicing. I think that listen, it is not coincidence that Mahomes has the worst numbers of his career, except for in the fourth quarter when he's the best quarterback in the league. It's not coincidence that the Chiefs' offense is pretty mediocre, except for third downs, where they have the best third down conversion rate of any team in 15 years. It's not coincidence that they trail in every game this year but one and then come back. What I think is, for a team that knows it's going to be a 20-game season and only 2 or 3 games actually matter, they are using the beginning of games to figure out what most teams try to figure out in practice. I think most teams in practice, they're like, all right, what are the 15 plays that definitely work? Let's use them on Sunday. I think the Chiefs in games are like, okay, what are the plays that we don't know if they work that might get added to the play, you know what I mean? What I like to call the good plays. Like, it's crazy how just when they got to have it, that's when they run the good plays. And it's also why I would prefer they not have to pull these games out on final drives, because I think one of their playoff edges is there's going to be less tape of them running their good plays than other teams. But the more times you have to activate that gear, the more that gets out there. But I really feel like, let me give a kind of 30,000 feet. 2 years ago, the Chiefs were fairly doubted. And by fairly, I don't mean moderately. I mean they hadn't won the Super Bowl in a couple years. Mahomes is coming off his worst playoff performance ever. They traded away Tyreek Hill. That doubt was legitimate. They win the Super Bowl. Last year, they were somewhat fairly doubted because they truly played bad football for a 6-week stretch and lost games. This year, it is purely a media creation. They are the two-time defending champions with the best coach, the best D coordinator, the best special teams, the best quarterback in football, the best defense in football, the best kicker in football. They haven't lost. They've played one of the toughest schedules. But it's boring to say, well, obviously they're better than everyone else. So now it's a pure what's wrong with the Chiefs. Meanwhile, every time the Ravens do anything, it's, oh my God, is this the greatest offense we've ever seen, even though they lose a third of their games?
Well, that's not anti-Chiefs as much as we want a new story.
Well, it's also, if I may, it's also, and I've said this before, I will say it again. Lamar Jackson was so unfairly maligned at the beginning of his career that now folks have an allergy to treating him the way we treat Aaron Judge, which, same guy. Unbelievable, remarkable, historic regular season player who, it's not that he's not the same in the playoffs. Every single year, he is his absolute worst in the playoffs. Every athlete of my lifetime that has fit that profile is treated with heavy, heavy skepticism, except for Lamar. And I think it's because you know what? I blame Bill Polian. I blame Polian. I think because Bill Polian said he was supposed to be a wide receiver, everyone since then is still reacting to that.